Hello and welcome to episode number 260 of the TEW 28 Challenge Run. This is SmackDown, week 3 of June 2022. And it's the go-home show to Money in the Bank, baby. We're finally here, Money in the Bank. But first and foremost, we've got to get through the final show of SmackDown. 6 big matches already announced for tonight. We've got a 6-way for the US title. We've got Keith Lee and Seth Rollins, first time ever for the main event. We got Carmelo Hayes versus LA Knight. We got the women's 4v4. And we've got Dakota Kai versus Indy Hartwell and Sasha Banks versus Kairi Sane. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show. Whoa, Braun got a 100. He opens the show. I forgot we're not doing... I kept saying that we might do the women's version of the Ladders promo. That won't be happening because I know this is the opening of the show. And I don't want to do the ladder segment if it's not the opening. Braun storms straight out. He's like, Roman Reigns is trying to put my back against the wall. Well, I got the dog in me and he's going to fucking come out on top of this 6-way. So who are my opponents? Who are they? Apollo's music hits right away. And Braun's like, of course, yeah. This guy's in the fucking back pocket of the bloodline. Of course it's going to be him. Then out comes Dolph Ziggler. Out comes Ricochet, out comes Happy Corbin, and out comes Oney Lorcan. So this is the 6-pack. One of these men will leave here. The United States Champion, Will Braun Breaker, managed to keep a hold of the belt and go into a champion versus champion match. Because it won't be a title unification match because the US belt's not on the line. It's just US champion versus WWE champion. If Braun can get through this match, which gets a 78. And... it goes for 12 minutes 44. You got your standard spots. You got Ziggler, Corbin, Ricochet, Oney doing their thing. Apollo is sort of like the main threat for Braun because he's the guy that's in the bloodline's back pocket. So he's like, okay, this is the son of a bitch that they want to win. So like, I need to stop him. And then in the end, Braun Breaker hoists Apollo Crews up for the fucking Gorilla Press Power Slam. He turns around, speared by Roman Reigns. Roman is here after all. After Braun didn't think he was here tonight. Yes, he is. He's come in. He's speared the fuck out of Braun Breaker. And Apollo goes rolling out of the ring. So Roman spears Braun in the middle of the ring and just leaves him laying as he starts to leave up the ramp. We now have an unconscious United States Champion in the ring. And Happy Corbin is there to capitalize. The fans are booing. They're like, no, please fuck off. Corbin crawls for the pin. He gets the 1, 2, 3. And Happy Corbin steals the United States Championship. I imagine, like, we get the shot of Roman leaving up the ramp as he screws Braun. And then Corbin wins. And then we get a shot of Roman where even he's like, oh god, really? That fucking guy? But yes, Happy Corbin is the new United States Champion. Braun gets a 77, 82 for Ziggler, 84 for Crews, 78 for Corbin, 72 for Oney, and a 92 for Ricochet. And yeah, we kick off tonight's big episode of SmackDown with a US title change. Happy Corbin is the United States Champion. We then cut to break. And then we come back from break and we get a recap of Corbin winning the belt. And then we see Braun like fucking ripping up boxing shit in the backstage area, kicking shit, and kicking. He goes, Braun, you must be so angry at what just transpired. He goes, you fucking think? Oh, I didn't know Roman Reigns was hidden. I thought he was a coward. He was hiding from me. Make no bones about it, Kayla. Come the end of the night, I'm gonna whoop Roman Reigns' ass for what he did. And he storms off, looking to go find Roman Reigns' locker room. Okay, this did really good. 80. Indy's passing like most of the tests I'm putting her in recently. But Dakota beats Indy in 7:54 with a Scorpion Kick in an 80 rated match. 76 for Dakota, 70 for Indy Hartwell. And yeah, she beat Sasha's, I guess, cohort. And then Dakota immediately leaves the ring and positions to Sasha. Like, go on, get in the ring. Your match is up next. And Sasha gets in the ring and out comes Kairi for that match. She gets a 90. These are magical together, these women. Because I think the Queen of the Ring final last year was this same match and they got a 90 as well. And it didn't save the finish that I set. I definitely had Mandy coming out to attack Kairi during the match. Cora was going to go up for the insane elbow, and then Mania was going to shove her off, and that was going to distract her. Sasha rolls her up, 1, 2, 3. That was the finish. But apparently the game said fuck that. So, but that is the finish, because after the match, finally Toxic Attraction get into the ring, and they're finally here to attack, and they actually leave the Joshis laying for the first time since, they concussed Io. They beat up Kairi. Utami runs out, but she's outnumbered. And instead of running away in fear, like the cowards that they are, Toxic Attraction actually stand tall over the two Joshis, and they haven't got their mystery partner here yet. They're obviously saving her for Money in the Bank. Getting another segment. Boogs is coming out on the ramp. He's, alright, my name's Rick Boogs, and he's hit a rock with Shinsuke Nakamura. Out come Boogs and Shinsuke doing their whole entrance when they're jumped from behind by Kevin. Like, Kev would probably get Nakamura, Cole would get Boogs, and they jump them and assault them, throw Boogs into the amps, and they go tumbling over as Boogs goes flying over the amps, hold Shinsuke in place so Kev can super kick him, Cole gives him a last shot, etc. And then they go to like high five each other because they one upped their common enemy, and then they immediately like pull back like, wait, no, I don't fucking trust you, you're gonna stab me in the back. And the other guy's like, no, I'm not gonna fucking stab you in the back, you're gonna stab me in the back, fuck you. And then they sort of storm off without each other, but knowing that their teamwork did get the upper hand on Nakamura and Boogs. 8-year rated match, I'll take that. Again with the whole unbeaten thing. I did debate having Melo win this and have him bragging about never being pinned and submitted, but he doesn't need to be unbeaten. We can have LA Knight win here. He's the one who needs the momentum more, I'd say, going into Money in the Bank. LA Knight beats Carmelo Hayes 11 minutes 21. Bottom rung. Knight gets an 81 and a 79 for Melo. So he did miss on this odd occasion, this rare occasion, a rare miss from Carmelo Hayes, as LA Knight captures the victory here on SmackDown. Again, a quick backstage segment. Corbin celebrated a knee jerk about, yeah, I'm the fucking champion. United States champion is me, Happy Corbin, woohoo. And Kev's like, Happy Corbin, congratulations. Did you ever think you'd be here tonight, United States champion? He's like, of course I fucking did. I'm Happy goddamn Corbin. I'm the greatest wrestler on SmackDown. Hey, where are we headed over the weekend? Money in the Bank. Vegas, baby. The city where I found my happiness. I'm coming back, and this time Daddy's bringing gold. Woohoo! And he walks off. And Kayla sort of looks at knee jerk like, what was that? And he just shrugs his shoulders like, I don't know. He's happy. He's champion, I guess. And then he follows Corbin out. Oh my goodness. What's this doing getting an 85? The women's 4v4. Charlotte, Nova, Alba, and Liv, Team Raw, defeat Team SmackDown, Cora Jade, Shotzi Blackheart, Toni Storm, and Raquel Rodriguez. Charlotte pinned Shotzi with a big boot, natural selection, whatever. 72 for Raquel and Shotzi and Alba. 73 for Liv, 46 for Cora. 76 for Nova, 83 for Toni, and then 88 Charlotte, of course, leading the pack. And did most of the carrying. But the Queen picks up the win here tonight as she takes the momentum into this Sunday's Money in the Bank pay-per-view. Woo. Bayley is watching the match on the monitor in the back, sort of like just with a straight face, sort of just nodding her head. And Kayla, she's earning her money today. I think she's interviewed Corbin, Breaker, and now Bayley. It's like, Bayley, last week you came up short, you failed to qualify for Money in the Bank, you lost to Cora Jade in the main event. Bayley sort of turns and glares at her. And she's like, okay, well, a lot of people are questioning that decision. They believe you may have thrown the match on purpose because you wanted Cora in the match instead, and you wanted to get a SmackDown contract. Bayley just sort of continues to glare at her, like, shut up, Kayla, and just walks off.
You throw me up. Wrestling. A man barely alive. Gentlemen, we can rebuild him. We have the technology. Better than he was before. Better. Stronger. faster.
But what are we to do with all these leftover parts?
There we go. There's my boy Seth. I knew I could trust him. Occasionally I will save like a big match for SmackDown. This is one first time ever Keith Lee versus Seth Rollins in the main event of SmackDown. Keith Lee scores the win clean with the Spirit Bomb in 20 minutes 5 seconds. 94 for Seth Rollins, 83 for Keith Lee. And Keith picks up the last minute momentum in a barn burner of a match here on SmackDown to end the show. But the show's not over because we get cut to Roman Reigns' locker room. And blah, blah, blah. He's like, whoa, solid evening, Paul. We got what we came for. We took that title off that bitch-ass Braun Breaker. And now we're leaving. He opens the door and Braun Breaker's like, who you calling bitch-ass? Punches Roman Reigns in the face. And then we get a brawl in Roman Reigns' locker room. He throws Jimmy Uso through like a fucking coffee table. Him and Jacob Fatu crash through a wall. And then they're just a big all-out brawl. Braun, he has the momentum, he has the adrenaline. And the fired up and the heart. But in the end, he is outnumbered by Jimmy Uso and two of the most dominant men on SmackDown. And Roman sort of just squats over him, holding the belt. He's like, is this what you want, kid? Well, you touch it. Touch it right now, because this is the closest you're ever going to get to holding this title, because I ain't ever letting go of this title. Not to you, not to anybody, not to Seth Rollins, not to Keith Lee, not even to The Rock. I'm going to smash them all. And that goes for you at Money in the Bank. You're going to fall in line, kid. So get a good, long, hard look at what you're never, ever going to get, because you're never going to be on my level. I'm on guard mode. And he just leaves as they leave Braun Breaker laying like broken glass from like a smashed coffee table as the show ends. I have no idea why I hit stop recording then instead of, end show. But yeah, the show gets a 95. Fucking awesome main event, awesome closing segment, awesome opening segment. To bang. Yeah, this is a fucking incredible episode of SmackDown in ring ratings wise. What matters more than that is what you thought of the show. But before then, we have the last games of Groups C and D in the Cruiserweight World Cup, which we'll get to on the other side. Some big matches on tonight's Heat, or Velocity even. This isn't one of them. Big Dudders defeats Jiro to get his third win from 3. He tops the group with all 9. And he'll face the second place person from Group D. And Jiro, I think he got 1 win. I think he beat Ari Sterling. But yeah, he's out if Ricochet can avoid defeat to Sterling, who's got 0 points, basically. Because if Ricochet loses to Sterling, then him, Jiro, and Sterling will all have 3, and it will be like a triple threat playoff game. But Ricochet does what he has to do. He literally just has to hold out for a draw, and that's what he does. Ari tries, but he can't quite beat Ricochet, and Ricochet gets the points, so he goes through second, with Dudley Davis topping the group. A 92 for Ricochet and a 51 for Ari Sterling. We then get to Group D. Tozawa, he picks up a big dub. He beats August Gray with a diving senton to close out his group with 7 points. Which I think will mean he tops it if Wesley and Oni is the last match. And Wesley would have to beat Oni to get in. Anyway, they draw, so it doesn't matter. So Wesley sneaks through second in a very difficult group. And in much of a surprise, former World Heavyweight Champion Oni Lorcan is eliminated in the group stage. But Tozawa will face off against Ricochet, and Dudley Davis will face Wesley. 2 incredible matches announced for the next round. Let's just take a look at what that does for the tournament as a whole before we end off here. Because of course, last time Rey Mysterio came first, he'll face off against Mark Andrews. So we got Rey, Mark Andrews, Yosuke versus Metalik, Dudley versus Wes, and Akira versus Ricochet. A very, very strong looking last 16 so far. Finished the show 76, about what I expect for Velocity. And the Cruiserweight World Cup is getting exciting now. We're in knockout wrestling, basically. But before then is episode 261, which will be Money in the Bank. See you then.